Hello, everyone. It's TechStack here. Let's get some music going for the stream. Here we go. Good timing. What? Wow. Okay, so set up in Discord here. What's happened? What are we looking at? We're looking at some very interesting changes. I've learned a lot since last night. I now know that you no longer need to have an object over here in Unity. Hey, I clicked the button first before your message came up. I had no idea. So, you're the traitor. Try to beat that. Uh-oh. I've got hotkeys. I can beat it. I matched your power and doubled it. Hey, Pexby. Look at this. I have figured out how to make... Yeah, okay. Later, Mike. You can have handles on objects that don't exist in the scene. So, right, this is not tied to any game object in the scene. This is coming from my custom window over here. And this is powerful. Like, this lets me just, boom, perfectly size and position my wall that I want to build. Boom, another one. There's nothing really slowing me down this way, right? It's slick. Boom. And then I went nuts. Like, I said, okay, I can see if all of this is set up in the scene, right? So I can say, is there a ground? Is there a collision? I'm only checking those two so far because those are the two that I need to build the walls. But I could certainly check the rest, right? There's nothing stopping me there. And with that, I've got this add tile map prefab, right? So if we were to just say, grab our prefab first, because I didn't have it in there from changing things. Oops. Tile map grid. So I'm gonna put this tile map object up there. Boom, get rid of that. I hit add tile map to grid, and it sets it up for me, and then checks it and makes sure that's all the scenes correct for those things. Then, so let's fill some areas in here like this, right? Get some big areas. And we'll make it a little smaller one in the middle. And we fill this. And let's say, oops, I've been hand painting some of this stuff and I've got it on the wrong tile map. I've done that like a dozen times a night sometimes, right? It's just ridiculous. So I've got it set up so that if you take and select from layer as collision, which is what the walls are on, and set it to, I don't know, top deco. It's going to move the tiles that are on collision over to top deco, right? So from this tile map to this tile map. And I can say overwrite the layer, right? So it'll replace things that are on the to layer, so top deco, with things that are from the from layer, or it'll like merge them together. So that if there's something on the layer that's the target, it won't overwrite it. Or I could say just clear the from layer altogether too is another option, right? So I want to duplicate it onto another layer, or I want to remove it from the original layer and put it on the new layer only. So if I do this, I hit move, and I turn off collisions as a layer, you can see that the wall's still there. That's because that wall is on top deco now. That is something that I've wanted in Unity for a while, so I started using this tile map stuff. So having that functionality built into this is very nice. I'm going through and populating this list based on what's in the scene. So if I were to delete, let's say, deco from this, if I want to do this, yes, it's just test scene. I had to open the prefab. Well, if I were to add another one, can I do that without doing the prefab? Because I don't want to screw up my prefab. Yeah, okay. So it should. Yeah, see, it's got another one that says tile map because that one's added to the scene. So that's cool. And then the same thing down here, let's list everything out, and I can choose which layer I want to clear. So now that I've got stuff on top deco that I don't want to be there, I can say clear top deco, and it goes away. So that's all with about, let's see, 300-400 lines of code. It's all pretty straightforward. A lot of it's kind of formatting, making it look good. Found some ways to make some horizontal lines on there with some rectangles and stuff like that. What else? And of course it has the functionality from last night too, right? So we can take the scriptable objects and just swap it out with another one. So if I put this mine one in there that we were testing with last night, hit fill, the top wall is a different tile now because that's what's in that scriptable object. Yeah. What I'll probably do is set a button down here, or a check mark, that says it's going to limit the clearing to this box. Alright, and then that box would only get cleared whatever's inside that box would be what's cleared. So let's code that up. Alright, so I'll get into what I've learned, I guess, a little bit. So we've got top deck, layer to clear, that's what we need to look for. Layer to clear from layer. Layer to clear, right here. So we need to add another checkbox here. And this is going to be a toggle is what it's called. Like this. And we're going to place that before the layer to clear. And we're going to call this toggle limit to selection. Guess I don't need that colon there. And right, and then we're going to take this F12 this. Where are my bools at? Show position. There we go. So let's do another one. Bool limit clear to selected. And we'll say false by default. So it'll clear everything. I'm going to take that, run down to where we were before. Put that variable in there, and in here, when we hit the button to actually do the clear, we'll say if that else, we will do this one, the original one that clears everything, right? So we're going to need clear tile map. It's going to go here. And we're going to create another version of this. And that other version is going to take the... Oh no, I guess we don't need to take a boolean value because we're just going to set it somewhere else. So clear tile map. Selection. There we go. So we still need to get the tile map. Still need to cache that. And we need to get our X and Y and Z positions, basically this whole piece right here. Actually, we can just grab all of that. And pop that in. Get a couple of these going. And it's not on ground. It's going to be on tile map. Don't need that. We're going to set the tile, and what we're going to set it to is null. There we go. Let me grab this, put this back right there, and we should be good to go. So now, once this compiles, I'll have a checkbox here. It should not be checked by default. Yeah, so I'm making some tools to make my job easier, right? That's what I'm doing right now. And it seems to be helping. Like, this right here is very nice to have. This here is nice to have. This here is very nice to have because I've done that too many times and it takes a long time to move from one layer to the next. I'm gonna say limit to selection. Oh, it's top deco, so we gotta go to the other layer. Collision. Get rid of the walls, and then we can say, okay, we want to do it to ground as well. Perfect. So we can cut out a section now very efficiently with this. I'm sure there'd be other things that I'll need to do. And those other things that I would need to do would be other types of buttons, right? So I've got this one set up that fills in the floor and the walls, right? And that's good, but I think I'm going to want ones that like create a wall with a stair on it, right? Create a door entry that does all the different pieces of the door on the right layers. Clears other layers, things like that. That means I'm probably going to need to know some more attributes about the tiles themselves. Or said a different way, like I'm going to define this to have more fields, right? So I can select more tiles with it. Because what I've got right now, this will work for the desert, like just a plain desert. This doesn't have to be a dungeon, right? So these walls can be the barriers that I place in the world. And I can uncheck this and it should clear the ground altogether. Top deco. Collision. Perfect. Delete this again. We can say add tile map to prefab. Boom. Do you think this is going to be more efficient in the end though? Like, does your game have so much space in the end game that you need this sort of tool? Yes, I do. So basically each dungeon that I'm going to build is going to be built of multiple rooms, and each one of those will be a different scene. And at least that's how I've got it right now. And I'll need to create this object on them. I'll need to basically set the size of the room like this, and then hit this button. And doing that by hand, let's just give an experiment here. Okay, so I'm going to clear this first off. Clear collisions and clear ground. Okay, so there's nothing there, right? I'm going to see how long it takes for me to build that same thing using the Unity tools. Okay, so we'd start there. Already messed up. Okay, let's use this tool instead. Like, this is the most efficient one. Okay, that's understandable. My game will have hundreds of rooms in the end game, and I have a little system that auto-generates a room that includes all the stuff I need, so I can understand. Yeah, exactly. It's just setting up the template for me to start building the actual rest of the room out, right? And what I've just realized, I've already done this on the wrong layer. I hate this system. I don't get why this is so complicated in Unity. Like, if my brain can't figure out, oh, this needs to be on this layer, right? So without my tool I just made, I would have to go and select each one of these, duplicate them, paste them individually onto the new layer, and then from there remove them from the original. It's a pain. I've done it several times and I still didn't even Yeah, let's go with scene still. And then this, right? So that's how long it took me to get this, and it's not even on the right layer. So I need to copy from top deco, which wouldn't be possible. It'd be by hand. To collisions. Move. Boom. Done. Guess I was expecting your game to be a lot smaller scale than what you have planned. Ah, okay. No, that's fine. Like it. So let me go into actually one of my rooms, one of my dungeon. You'll get it then. So here's the desert. That's your save. Let's close this. Okay, so here's my desert scene. It's a work in progress, but there's the dungeon, right? So you go into this door, and that's going to load this room. This room, right? You walk in here, you do some puzzle mechanics. You go into that room. That's going to load this one, right? And this one's got a door here that goes out into another dungeon area. A door here that's going to be another dungeon area. Another one here. Another one here. You come out here and eventually go back outside. And I'm just getting started with this dungeon, right? So I've already got 2 built, 3, 4, 5 that are probably needed, if not more for this. 6. So yeah, I'm going to be building a lot of these, right? And this is just one dungeon. So that's why I took the time last night to start working on this. And I'm fully aware that, like, even this room is not a rectangle, right? But it's enough to get me started, right? I could have had this wall built for me, and then just start removing sections and tweaking it to be the way I want. That said, I imagine a lot of rooms will be tall and skinny, short and fat, or just square, right? I don't think they're all going to be unusually shaped like this. Plus, like, this section I could have built too. If I get further along with it, I might also, you know, get some decorations that select a border kind of thing, and it fills in this little border around it, that type of stuff. Maybe I could... Awesome, you're going to have a collectible system. I think if your game had a lot of very collectibles other than weapons and items, there are functions to speak with. That are functions, so to speak, would be awesome. Like maybe hidden gems that you can trade for coins or other little things. Yeah, I think there'll probably be some non-primary quest, so we'll call them that, like side quest type stuff that we might have in it. Hidden things that you have to figure out how to accomplish. I'm gonna throw out one that's been suggested is, you know, do something with a well and you get something, that kind of thing. Maybe not an obvious quest that you would do in the game, but if you did, then you would get something for it. Okay, let's build Dungeon Room 3. Come on, Control D. Desert Dungeon 3. And this is Desert Dungeon 3. I've just duplicated it so we can get rid of those guys. My problem with early Zelda games was there was only a set amount of things to collect and you sort of needed them. There's not that many optional collectibles, which would have made me love those games even more. Yeah, I agree with you. They were very limited in their inventory, and I don't plan on having an infinite inventory in mine. Just what I'm thinking right now. Exit points, we need those. Interactable elements, we can get rid of all of that. Okay, so we've got our basic template set up now. And we can go tools, dungeon setup. I have to put the scriptable object in there every time. That's a bummer. Tile mount prefab. Prefab is seriously a bummer. Guess I don't need it though. Guess we can clear all these layers. So under their position, we're gonna clear collisions, clear the ground, clear the top, clear deco, clear low colliders, clear top deco. Once I click on it, boom. Kind of almost wonder if I need a clear all button, but that's kind of a dangerous button then. Okay, so here is our object, our placeholder, right? I'm saying things that aren't tracked in inventory, just like you pick it up, and if you happen to come across someone that like lost that object and you return it, you get some money. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So more like you've done part A, now you do part B, and it rewards you for doing it. Now this is something interesting. This part is going to be in the negative space, right? So it's negative 22. I haven't tested with negative values yet, so I'm going to see how this behaves. Behaves just fine. Cool. All the way negative too. Nice. It's like I know how to program things. Okay, so if that's the room we're coming in from over here, and that's really all I need that for. So does that keep showing? It does. So we can uncheck that box, get it off our screen. So go to tile palette. Get our side door on. You can just throw this on top deco. Let's put it there. We will go to collisions and erase that and that. Okay, that's our entry into this room. What's this room gonna be about? That's gonna be my hardest part sometimes, is what is everything for? Let's see here. Go back to my scenes. And let's run our main menu. First time playing the game when you start Unity takes forever. When you have tile maps. Right. Okay, so we need to go to the main menu. And on this button, yep, we are going to say test level, just in here. Trying to get to the name of the scene that we load for test. All that for one character. Test level. Awesome. We didn't have... Okay, this is hard to see. Build, okay. I know what it is. Go to that scene, please. Go to build settings. Add open scene. Press play. There we go. It's definitely a big room this size. Yeah, it's too big. Doesn't feel right. Okay, so we need to move this top wall down. That we can do with the regular Unity tools, right? So we can say all this needs to be moved. But we're on the wrong layer. It's the collision layer. Move. And then okay. Maybe I should add a move button to my thing. There. I am going to use it to erase this area, though. So back to the regular twos. So we need to actually be down here. Layer to clear is ground and collision and ground. Oh, right. Okay. That should do it. The other thing this setup can do is set the size of this grid for me, right? So if I have these size set, I could center the grid on it. I did the right math for it. Where's our entry point? That one there. Save, play. Click the button. And this is good. You gotta fight your way through this hallway, basically. So my concern before was if it was too tall and I had enemies in there that you had to fight, that you wouldn't necessarily have to fight them. You could dodge around them. Having it shorter, it constricts it and you have to fight them or whatever. Or traps, right? So still what I'm thinking for this so far is let's set up a trap in here. Pallets, no prefabs. Interactions, no, it's under traps. We got this set to 0. Yes, we do. Cool. We need our snapping tool. There we go. Let's not put it right there. Kind of deadly. Okay, so we're gonna build like a little maze that the player has to walk through, and we're gonna build it in a way where it's timed that those go up and down at different rates in different spots, and you have to figure out the way through it. And let's just move them one at a time. Now, is that because... do these need to be on a whole number? No, they're not on the right vertical. So they all need adjusted up half. There we go. Yeah, there we go. They should have been on a half number. That's better. We can get rid of you, and we can get rid of you. Okay, so that'll be row 1. Duplicate. Duplicate. Okay. That's a lot of spikes. Let's select which ones we want here. Oh, the grid's in the way, really? Okay, let's select which ones we want. Oh, I can't click on them? Okay, so you... you... Okay, those specific ones, we're going to say spike up. So if they start up, which means they'll be out of phase with all the rest of the spikes. And I didn't turn the grid back on. That'd be nice to have the walls and stuff in the room. So we're just testing this, see how this works. Start level. It very much shows the path. But I think the easier path is just to go through here. And it instantly kills us. Cool. Because there's so many spikes there. Okay, what if we... I don't remember what the path was exactly. I think it was this, though. Okay. Make them run slower. That's a long ways to go through it, to be honest. I missed one. Okay, so it's the one right there. So like, straight into the room up there. Oh, wait. Oh, it's just out of phase. That's funny. It's still out of phase. What up? So it'd be this one. 2. 2. Has it out of phase? It's weirdly out of phase. I think the easy way is to delete it, because it's bugged. I'm not sure, and I don't know if I want to be sure what's wrong with it. There's more than one there. There was more than one there. That'll do it. It needs a better pattern to it than what it's got. I'm not liking it. Let's set them all back to 1 and keep them down. Spike frequency 1, right? Okay, let's get rid of the grid off of this again so I can select with the Unity tools. Let's select all of those. We're going to say starting frequency 2. Come on. 3. 4. And 5. 6. This is really going to be tricky now, I think. That's a shit. Huh. Okay, what if we did a different pattern to it? So what if we kept them all the same on their timings? So timings, let's say 2 seconds, just to give them some extra time for this tricky puzzle. And these were one of them. Actually, I had to select the whole thing in Unity. Any other application, you had to select part of it. We'll do toggle those alternate. That's not gonna work. You'd have to know exactly when to move with no delay in between, basically. Let's try it. Basically, they'll alternate now. Sorry, I got a message. Test level. Hey, Bob, just walking straight through it. Okay, let's set these to 3. No. Select them all. Set them all to on. Set them all to 3 is the default timing. It'll be off. hard to click these things. Okay. They'll be off. Yeah. Off. Let's try that. There must be multiples here and there. There is. You're off. Is there two like in every position or something? Because that one's there and that one's there. Oh, I got an idea. Start this again. Get rid of the duplicates. Two, three, 4, 5, 6. Had I been really genius, I probably would have set them up in rows or something. Kind of like one of every other one kind of pattern. They're so freaking hard to select. Like a diagonal pattern, right? I think I might need to change my spike settings too, script, so that we can set one up. Like there's a delay between it cycling. How do I describe this? Like it cycles up, it delays. I want to have a uniform pattern between them where there's some are up, some are down, and then a delay when these go down before these would go back up. I don't want them always to be in sync, even if they have different timings. It seems to be the case. But maybe I'll figure it out here. If I can do it just timings, it's fine. I just need to wrap my head around what the timings need to be. There. Okay, so let's take these out of phase so that they're now opposites. Their starting frequency is 3, so let's make it 2 on those. We'll see what it does. Ah, that was too confusing. I didn't catch what the pattern was at all to that. Yeah. Four. Make it slower for those. Okay, so the first ones will go down. Second ones will go down, and that's when we should book it. Haha! They got me. I need to select the opposites. I think if I set them on a 2-4 kind of pattern, then it would be okay. So there'll be 2 seconds where they're up, 2 seconds where they're down, and the other ones will be 4 seconds while they're up and 4 seconds while they're down. So now they all should go down now. Yeah, so you have to wait for that kind of pattern to happen. So they'll be in phase, like every other time for the one set to be up. Now, yeah. It's a hard pattern to pick out. The other thing we could do is do like basically it's like a sine wave kind of thing, stacking up and eliminating each other. If that makes any sense. Destined for Smarter Every Day did a video about it. How would we describe that? I need to figure out what the numbers are that'll work for it, right? The two patterns would overlap to the interference with each other. Obviously, multiples of each other will work, right? You just have to rate through the number of the cycles to make the multiple happen. But would like 3 and 1 work? I don't know. I'm not feeling this puzzle. Like, it doesn't work for my brain. Maybe it needs to be... It does need to be different. That's what it is. It needs to be different. So I'm going to kill all the traps again. Let's turn this back on. We've got this kind of configuration, right? So what if we use some other barriers in here and make a little bit of a area you have to walk through and periodically stop for the trap to fire. And we'll put it back to 1 for that. And what are we going to use for that area maze type thing that you have to walk through? These, I think. With those, I want to use my prefab for them. Instead, fire pit, interactions, fire pit. Go back, dang it. Empty. Traps. What's this one gonna be called? Decorations. Okay. Now we can take and go move to view and snap it. Problem is that's not enough. Like, this hallway needs to be narrower for that to work. I don't want to put 200 of these in here. Collision. Let's do that. So let's have that. That. Yeah. And then this piece needs to be on the deco so that it doesn't actually stop us from walking through it. Top deco. Okay, now I think when I play this, the problem's going to be I'm going to walk on front of that top part of that. So I might have to make this into its own prefab. Yeah, I'm walking on top of it. It's not what I wanted. Okay, so it's got to be its own prefab. Unity! Collision. So let's save this scene. Let's go to my dev scene for prefab creation. Delete this. We're going to create a new one. Green barrier. And we're going to go to dungeons. This is the one. There it is. Grab this as well. Okay, so this is at 0, 0, and so I do this. Blink. Let's add a box collider. Perfect. On both of those, they need my special sauce, so let's put that on there. We're going to set them to 5 so we can see them. We don't want a rigid body. This is gonna be a static, basically. There's no way to say it's they're static. Yes, change the children. So those no longer need to be dynamic. And we can grab this. Let's prefab it up. Okay, let's go back to the other scene. Save. Okay, so now we should have under decorations these. The other thing we can do too is set in these posts. I think I need to set them up as prefabs because I've been putting that off for a while now. They need to be prefabs too, just like this, so we can have another one that we can paste in here. Because what happens is I either block the player from walking through two spots or the top part looks funny. So back to the dev scene real quick. Support builder. Okay, that's the top of it, I think. Oh, maybe it's not. This is it. Select all three of those, reset the transforms, focus on it, find it in the scene, get rid of the other one. Okay, so this one needs to go up. Yep. Okay. This one needs the box collider around it. Those are going to need the special sauce. These both need that in there. They need this turned off. All three need to be static. Let's change children. Should be it. Palettes, prefabs, decorations. Okay, back to the scene. Got one thing. Yeah, cool. Okay, so this is kind of be like the entrance to the whole mess, right? Make sure it plays right. Yeah, cool. I can't walk through there though. Why? Can I not? Oh, we're just barely in now. Really? We can't get in there? Okay, we can make it too wide then. Fatty. That's why it wasn't on its mark. So this actually needs to be up there. Symmetry. Yeah, that makes sense, because this one's lined up with this, and this is lined up with this now. Yep. Okay, so we got everything we need to think. So start duplicating stuff. So that means you come up here and go there. Delete. Come on, I didn't want to do that. Grab the whole thing, please. So now you have to go back up and around, right? That's what I'm trying to set up. I might actually make it symmetrical and you can pick the top or the bottom. And then the trap. Be there. And there. Got a lot of room to go. I mean, we can always make the room shorter if we need to, but I don't know that we're going to need to. I'm also setting up something in this so that you'll have to go back through it. That needs some code. So set on fire needs to have a callback that we can set. Our multi-action receiver is probably the best example of it. Fire pit. That was serialized field, okay. Like, how does that show up? Using Unity engine.events. I think that's all we need. The event system. Event system. Okay. And we're going to rename this one. So it's not going to be all transmitters. It'd be on fire started. Then we're gonna call this and our fire pit under this. And what that does for us is down here. Come on. We now have a callback that we can trigger something when the fire is started. And we'll need another one, so it works with the multi-action system if I want multiples of them on start. It's basically the same thing, right? So 2 lines of code. Right, in the start method. Oh, let's say that. Save, and we want that serializable again. So go back to Unity, we'll get another one of these. We can throw in a multi-action receiver in this room. The multi-action receiver can look to see if all of them are lit, basically, by doing this. So we'll set the rest of that stuff up in a bit. For now, the player's basically gonna have to know that they need to shoot a flame from this one to this one, right? So if they get all the way in here and realize this one's off, which they'll probably be able to see it, so maybe we'll move it down a little bit more. There. Let's play the room. That's what's wrong. There we go. Oh wow, maybe they won't be able to. I might need to put these bricks on a layer that they can't get hit by stuff, like arrows. Yeah. Let's do that. So those bricks need to be on a layer that doesn't interact with the arrows, which is under project settings. So projectiles doesn't interact with projectiles. Cool. Or low colliders. Could put it on low colliders. Let's do that. It doesn't interact with the attackers, but it does there. But I know for a fact that an attacker can shoot an attacker. I don't know. Let's put on low colliders. I know that's gonna work. That's why I set up low colliders. Low colliders. Yes. So now if we play, start the level, and shoot an arrow over them. Which makes that easier. Okay, so that needs to go over 5 or 6 more. Of course, this is for my screen resolution, I get that, but that's what we're testing for. Let's test for 4K. There. It's the aspect ratio we're worried about. It does get lit. Ah! Frick. Jeez, I get hit by every time. It's interesting, my hearts are nice and small in this aspect ratio, but in this one it's fine. Or resolution, I should say. So I need to adjust that. They need to be native size or something like that. They need to scale up basically when it's in 4K so that they're always that big. think this actually needs to be over 1 or 2 more. But just you. Look. I'm telling you, you need to leave the other guy alone. Okay, do I have a key stuck down somewhere? Oh. There we go. I think this trap needs to be moved too. To there. Can I open this and then somehow lock the child? I don't think I can. I don't want to select the child. Not in the scene view, at least. Okay. So more green barriers. So we're gonna have you walk down. And then you'll have to walk up. Okay. Duplicate you. Come around that. I think here should be some enemies. Like some enemies with bows, right? They can shoot at you the whole time. Like I want to make this particular section difficult. I want it to be that way because you're going to get a reward, basically, at this section in the dungeon. Yeah, let's do that. We'll put like 2 or 3 enemies here. They'll be shooting at you when you're walking through this. We'll keep this here out of range of this. And we'll move the wall up. We'll put a door in the end of the wall, and it'll be a multi-action receiver where you have to light multiple fire pits to exit the room. Right? And none of the ones at this end of the room are going to be lit. So you have to figure out that mechanic to do that. So let's take that whole end and move it down. We're going to select from the collision layer first. This, and we're going to move. That's probably good there. And then we need to erase an area like this. Okay. Well, I got this. Let's get rid of that. Okay, and then we need to go to dungeon. Grab this, put this on top deco. paint tool. Sorry, I didn't check my message. Okay. And then we need a smaller section to delete. Not on top deco. We're gonna delete it off of collision. There we go. Okay, and we need to duplicate the fire pit. I want to duplicate the other fire pit though. Because these fire pits are both off. Now, all of them are. Now we need to get a multi-action receiver. Fire pits. Let's create another game object. At 0 fire pits. Let's just grab all of them, put them in there, just so we can stay organized with our layout. Let's not put it like that. Let's go and put it outside of decorations. There we go. And outside of traps, please. That one, and that one need to have a multi-action receiver. So we're going to create a empty, it's a multi-action receiver. And that one's going to get my special script, multi-action receiver script. Okay. And we're going to say all 3 of those are going to have this. Oh, I can't drag it in there. All right, you got to add it first. Multi-action receiver for both of those. It's going to talk to that. And it's going to say register for this startup. Nope, this startup. Wrong start. They're both called restart. That's not good. This is going to be unregister. And then on this, we need the door for the room. We're going to get this door. Oh no, we don't have a sideways door. Okay, so we need to create a prefab variant. Alright, and this will be... Oops. Be the west door, right? Which would be the same as this. It's called east. Nice. Guess we'll call it east. It's facing to the east. Okay, so let's open this prefab variant and let's go to our sprites and rearrange all this stuff so that it's facing the right direction. I think it's in here, under this one specifically. Go. And sprite 1. You are the centerpiece, so we need to make you this. And this needs to be... Let's open this up in Photoshop so I can see it. We've got 2 different variations of this door. Why? Okay, sprite editor. We need sprite 18, 25, and 32. 18, 25, and 32. It's 25. So this needs to be 18. Maybe this. 17. 18. What? Oh, that's why. This door has both pieces. That's wrong. That's why they built it over here too. So we need 27, 34, and 39. 27, 34, 39. 27. 27. 34. And 37. 39. Yeah, I just said it wrong. It's 27, not 37. Okay, so now we need to fix the positions. There we go. I think everything else should be the same on it. Alright, it's just the sprite that's different. Still got a door controller script. So we're good. Save. Okay, so now that we've got our prefab built, we can go down to the prefab folder for doors and pop that door where it needs to go. We'll put it under interaction elements, just general. Where are you? Ah, we need to change it some more. Gotta change that second trigger location so it's not beside it. But huh. Okay, it'll be on top. It'll be okay. So we need to change this some more. Its trigger location, this one, needs to be moved. So -1, and it's there. Save. Perfect. Oh, my headset died. Time to change my battery. Come on. Okay, so now in the multi-action receiver, we've got it set up already so that these register and unregister. And when all things are unregistered, it triggers this. And what this needs to do is have the door reference, and we'll say open. Okay, let's play this level. I know I don't have the enemies in here. We're gonna walk through it once without shooting the arrow through. Getting stuck on these actually. Probably need to change my player's collider from box collider to something else. Like a circle collider. Yeah, so none of these are lit, the door's shut. I can't light them. Stupid. So now that I'm back here, I know I need to do this to get that first one lit. And then once we have that one lit, we can use that one to light the other two. And there we go, we're out the game. Works. Really tempted to change my collider on my player, though. That's a pretty serious change, because it's going to impact all levels, right? So what I want to do here is grab a commit in GitHub, added dungeon 3. I don't think we did anything else to the other stuff, did we? And several prefabs. Okay. I'll push that up. I am going to go to the prefab for the player, which is this one, and swap out that collider. So he currently has a box collider that's a trigger, that's this bigger one. He has a box collider 2D, I believe that's the one. Box collider 2D, let's just try moving it. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. So, it's a fairly specific size to it. Gosh, let's add another rigid or component. Gonna be at the bottom of the list though. Try collapsing everything else so we get rid of all these other lines and everything too. Okay. Let's add that component. Circle collider 2D. There it is. And we're gonna want this box collider on. Okay, so we need to center this circle with that inner box. Okay, the X was fine. The Y that needs to go up. The radius probably 0.25. 3. My 3 is actually really good. I think that's it. So let's get rid of this. And he's now got a circle for his collider. The bigger trigger is what he gets hit on, right? So by enemies. That also makes him a little smaller for these traps, I guess. Like the floor traps. Yeah, I can walk along these now. Feels better. There's no getting stuck on a corner of a collider now. Even pushing against the wall at the same time. I forgot already. It doesn't really matter, I guess. We tested what I wanted to test, which was the ability for him to not get stuck anymore. So let's play the whole thing. Let's get up to this point. Wait, we can't. We can't. We gotta do one more thing. So we've got entry points as Dungeon Desert 1. Desert 2, that's our entry point. And this is Dungeon Desert 3. So we need to go into Dungeon Desert 2. And we have all of these exit points. That's 2 desert, which is wrong. Okay, let's use this one. Okay, this is going to scene to load, Dungeon Desert 3. Scene to unload is this one, which is Dungeon Desert 2. And entry point name is Dungeon Desert 2. And I guess this one, which is back here, scene to load is not desert, it should be Dungeon 1. Desert Dungeon 1. Desert Dungeon 2 is the one we unload, and we'll say I don't know if we've got a point for that, so we'll leave it from town. It's just gonna be funky. I need to have a tool or a window. I'm thinking this through, right? A window that works with these, list out all of the paths. Be really cool if I could do them in a graph and load them up, but I don't know if I can get all that accomplished. Like a node-based system, so I could just quickly in Unity, not through the game, navigate through the game, make sure everything works. Oh, went to testing. Went to go to the actual world. Okay, let's get rid of this. We're gonna go to the desert. Yeah, I can walk along those just fine. It's part of the reason I want to test this is in some of those rooms there's pushable objects that we need to make sure that our collider didn't get screwed up. Crap, he's gonna get my health pretty low. Okay, let's go up here. Okay, let's fight this guy. Got your toes. Okay, this should take us into number 2. Should kill me. No! My own game is too hard. The enemies aren't jumping health or anything though. And I'm going straight into a dungeon with the lowest amount of health you can get in the game. I probably could have just walked past them, that's what I should have done. I just messed up the puzzle in this room. I don't think I can get through there now. And it probably should be low colliders. I'm not gonna make it through. Dang it. There's no way to fix that. So, because I don't want to do this again, we're going to scene view and we're just going to move our character. Whoop. Hey, look at that. You're on the other side of the puzzle. Cool. Now what happens if I go back? Nothing. Didn't put it an exit. Didn't even make it. My game is too hard. Okay. We accomplished what I'm after today. My wife was sending me messages saying that we got things to do in the morning. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to wrap up right here. And we'll raid Below the Stone. Assuming they're still streaming. Below the Stone. Raid. I will catch everybody tomorrow at some point. We're getting up early because we got some stuff to do. My daughter's got a birthday party to go to, so we'll be doing that. Bye, everybody.